What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a couple of quick duels for you guys to check out. This first one's going to be showing off how easy it is to use Apollousa. This is the new Link monster coming out in Rising Rampage. Link 4 that has built-in monster negation, equivalent essentially to how many materials you put into it. And when you use this card with 4, it is very problematic for your opponent, especially if they're playing like very monster-focused decks like Thunder Dragons and Necros, Dinosaurs, decks that don't really run a lot of like trap cards and spell cards to defend themselves with. A deck like Sky Striker probably would not have a problem with this card, but everything isn't Sky Striker. And if Saryuja Scoldred gets hit on the FNL list, this could definitely become one of the more dominant Link monsters to make when you're going first. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And he's not even going to end on like the greatest board, but it is going to be a board that's very effective against his opponent. This is like a Thunder Dragon, Dinosaur, mashup, hybrid type of deck. It's running a whole bunch of different stuff. Reapodocus into Summon Sorceress. This is all just like basic Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys have seen this play a billion times. Summon a Miscellaneous Source from the deck, and now that will probably float into another monster. He's using a bunch of like filler engines, you know, White and Black Dragon, Phantom Knight, stuff like that. These are just cards that generically help you Link climb, but yeah, Saryuja Scoldred does end up going to 1, then you could obviously use this as a replacement, because I believe Saryuja is only going to be used one time here. Instead, he's going to go into the Apollousa, and now he has a Guard Dragon, summon the Morphish Goliath from your deck, and you see that the ending board isn't like, it doesn't look super OP, but it does essentially have a lot of disruption, because this can stop 4 monster effects, this can stop your opponent from using the extra deck, and this can put a monster face down, obviously giving up the LP, because LP is already like, it's fulfilled it's it's fulfilled its usefulness. It hasn't really, or it doesn't really have much more to give. His opponent starts with those incantations. Negate one of those, easy. Your opponent doesn't really have to, or your opponent's not getting that off. Goes for Megas aboard, you're obviously going to negate that. You don't want to let that go through. That's a Necros win condition right there. Another implication, another negation, and now he just puts everything face down, and it just shows you that, you know, your opponent fighting through 4 negations. I mean, maybe you can attack it with the 4th one when it's only at 800 attack, but once your opponent has, you know, basically like lost 3 of their monster effects to this, they're not going to have many more plays for that turn. Decks like Salamangreats and other decks in the meta like Thunder Dragons, you just wait for them to activate their effects. White and Black Dragon trying to search, and then you can just negate. Yeah, it's probably going to die by battle during the next turn, but at that point, who cares? Your opponent has already burned through a lot of their resources. Second duel is Galaxy versus Heroes, and I kind of feel like Galaxy need to run like actual trap cards. I mean, yeah, going for number 92, the card is excellent, but it can't be like the only thing that you have on field when it comes to like disruption against your opponent. If you can make, like, I have seen people drop number 92 plus Cyber Dragon Infinity in the same turn, that's good, but if you can't do that, I feel like you need like some Solemns or some type of, you know, permanent, something like that to stop your opponent and just basically to slow them down. He's going to be able to drop number 92 relatively easily off the Galaxy Knights into Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I don't get this at all. He just randomly summons Galaxy Soldier for what reason? It's summoned in defense mode, has 0 defense. I really don't get why he did that, so that was just kind of bizarre to me. Anyways, he could have probably held that in his hand, and he could have used that as discard fodder for Soul Flare Dragon. So I don't really get like why he did that at all. Seems like it just would have been better to save. Looks like he is going to go on the offensive, and he's going to tribute for the copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Gets his opponent low, but low is not a win in Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody knows that. So getting your opponent to 500 life points, they can still easily come back. He goes into battle phase. Now, if you guys are wondering why he did this in the battle phase, it's so he could not use the Soul Flare Dragon. Soul Flare Dragon, I believe, activates in the main phase, so this card cannot be used once you go to the battle phase. I guess hypothetically he could have tried to pop it like when he ended the battle or the main phase, but then he could have just changed, or he could have just changed the mass change onto that, so that would have made it kind of moot point. Anyways, he's going to go for Anki. Anki is going to go ahead and attack into the copy of 92. Now he goes for form change, and he's actually going to attack into the Soul Flare Dragon, and just like that, this duel has been flipped on its head, and I think Heroes should easily win, especially with that copy of Honest Neos in hand. I feel like his opponent's going to walk right into it. He goes for the Hope Harbinger. He attacks right into the Honest Neos, and the Mass Hero Dion is going to activate as well. Now at this point, I feel like he's grasping for straws. His opponent has way too many monsters on the field, and he has 3 cards in hand, drawing the 4. Even if he didn't have an answer, drawing the copy of evac device just means like you have a 1 card out to this. So basically he has his easy out right there. I feel like this duel is a wrap. Life points are largely inconsequential because he's at 500, but he's just not going to do any more damage. He goes for the Vision Hero Adoration. Now he might actually go for, yep, looks like he's busting out Anki Part 2. He's going to be able to cut the dude's attack in half using the Adoration, and this is basically a wrap. He could have even went for Dark Law, and I'm not really sure that the ending result would have been a difference. Hell, again, he had the evac device right there the entire time, and it looks like he had a form change, so it looks like he could have done even more damage, but obviously he had game on board. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed these short duels, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.